Hi everybody, my name is Nairi and I'm running an adoption support type channel where I share tips, advice and my experiences as I have two adopted sons. And I think that you will find that this is a comprehensive list. And I also mention in here if the children are coming from foster carers, which I'm presuming in most situations they will be, what they are also likely to come with. So if you want to go off and grab a pen and some paper, I think that this will be invaluable to you if you're on the adoption journey. Okay, so let's start with breaking it down into sections. The first section that I have for you is for the bedroom. So you will need a cot or a cot bed for an under 2 years, or you need a bed with a bed guard for over 2 years old. Obviously, if they're old enough and they don't need a bed guard, then you don't need to buy one. You will need a protective cover for the mattress, particularly if they are now out of nappies, but you might want one anyway. You will need to have at least one cuddly toy that's a little bit special. Create a name for the toy and it will become your attachment toy that you use. A range of books for bedtime that are quick and easy to understand. You don't want anything too long at bedtime. At least 5 sets of pyjamas for each child. The foster carer will send you with some pyjamas, but you do need to have plenty. I would say you probably need a set to cover every night. You need enough underwear to cover at least 7 days, but some of it be provided by the foster carer. But again, there's kind of like you can't have too much underwear, in my opinion. A coat. The foster carer will definitely give you at least one because that's on the list of things that they need to provide. But you will also need slippers, wellies, shoes and trainers. Again, this may be provided by the foster carer. Socks, at least one for each day of the week. Some will come from the foster carer. And flannel, toothbrush. The foster carer will send this with them, but you might want to buy your own when they first arrive. Duvet cover and duvet if the children are over 18 months. Sometimes this will come with the foster carer because some foster carers sent everything that related to the child to you into the home, but I think it would be fine for you to go out and buy your own duvet and duvet cover to make the bedroom sort of more personal to your home. So blankets for the under 1-year-olds need to be breathable. I have found that a grow clock or a sleep trainer clock has been worth every penny. There's actually a video on my channel about it. I've used a grow clock with my sons from when they first came, and the grow clock is the determining factor as to when you say the morning is happening rather than them looking at the light outside. A handheld mirror for when they're toothbrushing, but also for their identity, that we found our sons actually didn't know what they looked like, and if you have a handheld mirror they can easily see what they're doing when they're washing and brushing their teeth. Just a quick list for the under 1-year-olds. There is another video on my channel which shows you some items that you can have if you're adopting a baby. It doesn't cover everything, but you might want to look at my baby playlist. So for one under 1-year-old, you need a small range of age appropriate toys and a play mat. Again, the foster carer will provide some, but you might want to get a selection for yourself. Baby sleep grows for night time, at least 7. The foster carer will probably provide some. Bottles or sippy cups, again, foster carer might provide some, but it wouldn't hurt for you to have some of your own in the home, and soft bibs for feeding for the under ones. You don't want anything too hard on them. Nappies, nappy cream, changing mat, changing bag, nappy bags, wet wipes will all be within the changing bag type of area, and you need a changing station that works for you and works for your back. Sterilizer, feeding spoons, containers for weaning solids, and a range of clothing. They're going to come with clothing, but if you want to choose a few items for yourself, then that would be really useful. Now we're going for playtime. Now this is tricky because in my experience as a foster carer and meeting other foster carers, Some will give lots to the children, and if they've had them for a longer period of time, they would have gathered a lot. And others are quite frugal with what they spend their money on. So it's gonna vary massively. So I think you just need to be balanced about it. And it could be that when you get a chance to speak to the foster carer, you might get some idea of what they're coming with. They will normally send anything that a child has specifically for birthdays and Christmas presents. So they're going to come with some stuff. But here's a few ideas of what children just love to play with. They love to play with construction toys. So building blocks, Duplo, stickle bricks, popoids, or anything where the child has to plan and make something. So it's like a cause and effect toy for development. Then there are things where things move. So train sets, however simple, moving trucks and toys where you press buttons, you get a reaction back from light or sound. They're useful really for any age child, even the under ones like that type of thing. Water and sound toys are also very helpful. If you've got room for a small sand pit outside, nearly every child I know of nearly every age enjoys playing with sand. But a good range of water toys anyway, because you can use them in the bath, and bath time can be a real time of therapeutic bonding with you and the child. Good quality age appropriate jigsaws. So it's better to have one or two really good jigsaws that can be handled well by the child. Melissa and Doug are very, very good for a wide range of jigsaws and wooden play toys that are quite different and may well be different from what the child comes with. Depending on the age of your child, you may need a pram or a double pram. This may come from the foster carer, but it may not. And this is where you could ask the foster carer. And the same with car seats. Sometimes they will come with them and sometimes they won't come with them. You also need to think about the fact that you don't actually know fully whether the child could develop allergies or sensitivity. So make sure you've got sensitive washing powder, sensitive wash for the bath, and a non-slip mat for the bath. And then of course there's all the health and safety things, which I'm not going to do a full list here because it's massive, but simply stair gates which will block off any rooms or stairs that you don't want a child to have access to, finger guards if you've got doors that slam easily, cupboard locks, front and back door locks, window restrictors, fire guard, cooker guard, medicine cabinet are just to name but a few. There will be a health and safety monitoring that's done on your home, and you will be given more information about that. Also in the home, it's very useful to have Calpol and a really decent thermometer so that you can check when your child is coming down with a temperature. A well-stocked first aid kit is a must. There are things that have to go in first aid kits and then things that people say shouldn't be in there. So if you want, keep a separate supply of plasters and antiseptic creams, because actually every child wants just to have a plaster put on their knee when they've hurt themselves. Now, I think outside toys are probably less likely to come because they're quite big items for a foster carer to provide for the foster child. So I think that you probably will have some room here to, if you want to spoil your adopted child a little bit, you probably will be able to. Anything like ride-ons, the sandpit I've mentioned, footballs, mini slide, little tykes is excellent for this and really lasts for a long time. So it's probably better to invest a little bit of money in a quality product. Anything that enhances your outdoors, if you have even the smallest of gardens, think about putting some equipment out there. You can, if you want to, design some boxes that have different activities in there for your adopted child. If your child can write or they're learning to mark make, then having a box outside, a plastic box outside with some pens or chalks in, again, is invaluable. And children that are adopted or fostered just get so much from being outside. It does something to them. It really helps them therapeutically. So you will find that the child will probably enjoy being outside. Now, these are not obviously necessities, but if you are a crafty sort of person and you're happy to make a mess with your newly adopted child, then a good range of water-based coloured poster paints, large paper or wallpaper is just equally as good, sponges for printing, glue and craft items such as feathers, buttons, coloured tissue, coloured card, bubbles. all children like bubbles, and access to children's music, which can be great for during the day, but it's also great for nighttime too, particularly if you have a child that's really struggling to settle. And then we have school age children. You may actually be sending them to a different school, so you might have to start again anyway. So you need to make sure that obviously that they have a packed lunchbox and a bottle, and it's probably best to start with packed lunch anyway rather than school meals if you can. They need to have a full school uniform, and I would say 3 sets of school uniform, honestly, is the minimum. That's what I find with our boys, but you know, it's obviously it's your choice. A PE kit as well. So that is my basic list. Please don't think it's exhaustive. It can't possibly be, because every child, every foster carer, every situation is just going to be so different. If you get chance to speak in detail to the foster carer, then try to ask as many questions as you can. I'm going to create another video on questions for foster carers. The thing is about foster carers, they vary so much in what they want to tell you and what they want to share. Some will be very open, some will not be. Some will be very generous with the children and some will not be. And so this is just a general list to help you. Guys, if you're on the process of adopting, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you on my channel. If you've not subscribed already, please do. And I normally bring out 2 videos a week for you.